Welcome to Battlefield Insights. From the rifles that dominated the front lines to the flame-spewing weapons that cleared the caves, America's World War II arsenal was simply massive. In this episode, we are inspecting the legendary hardware that changed history. First up, the rifles and carbines. The M1 Garand was the star. General Patton famously labeled it the greatest battle implement ever devised. This semi-automatic 30-06 powerhouse gave G as a supreme advantage, letting them fire 8 rapid rounds without touching a bolt handle. Then there was the M1 Carbine. Built for support troops needing more than a pistol but less than a heavy rifle, this handy weapon fired a lighter, 30 caliber round. Surprisingly, factories produced more of these than the Garand itself. For the airborne, they made the M1A1 paratrooper carbine. This variant featured a folding wire stock, allowing jumpers to strap it to their chests and fight the instant they landed. We also saw the M1903A3 Springfield, a veteran from the First World War. Though slower than the Garand, this bold-action relic was reliable and later served primarily for launching grenades. Its cousin, the M1903A4 Springfield Sniper, removed the iron sights for a scope. This modification created the primary U.S. sniper system, bringing deadly precision to the chaos of Europe and the Pacific. Often forgotten is the M1917 Enfield. The sturdy bolt action actually carried by more doughboys in World War I than the Springfield. In the Second War, it armed guards and allies, proving its worth behind the lines. The M1941 Johnson was the Garand's quirky rival. It used a unique rotary magazine you could top off with clips, seeing limited but loved action with the Marines. Next, let's look at submachine guns. The M1A1 Thompson became the simplified wartime workhorse. To speed up assembly, they stripped the fancy cooling fins, creating a heavy but devastating close-quarters tool. Before that was the M192AA1, the classic Tommy gun with the top charging handle and muzzle compensator, expensive, beautiful, and heavy. Then came the M3 grease gun. Cheap, ugly, and made of stamped steel, it looked like a mechanic's tool but cost a fraction of the price to make. The Marines used the M50 Rising as a stopgap. While accurate, it notoriously jammed in the sand and mud of the Pacific Theater. Moving to pistols and revolvers. The M1911A1 remains the legendary sidearm, firing a heavy 45 caliber slug. This rugged pistol stayed in service for over 70 years due to its stopping power. The S&W Victory model was a .38 special revolver produced in huge numbers for Navy crews and security guards. We also saw the Colt M1917, a heavy-frame revolver brought back from the Great War that fired rimless ammo using moon clips. For the OSS spies, there was the high-standard HDM. This silenced 22 caliber pistol was so quiet it was famously fired in the Oval Office without the president noticing. The FP45 Liberator was purely psychological. Costing $2 to make, this crude single-shot gun was dropped to resistance fighters so they could steal better weapons. Now for the heavy hitters. Machine guns. The M1918A2 bar was the squad's backbone. Firing full-power rifle rounds, it bridged the gap between rifles and heavy guns, despite its small 20-round magazine. The M1919A4 was the standard air-cooled medium gun. Mounted on a tripod, it provided reliable base fire, though it still needed a team to move it. Engineers tried to make it portable with the M1919A6. They added a stock and bipod, but the weapon remained incredibly front-heavy and awkward in the field. The heavyweight champion was the water-cooled M1917A1, thanks to its water jacket. It could fire for hours in defensive positions without overheating. And finally, the M2 Maydews .50 caliber. It shredded vehicles and aircraft so effectively that it remains an active U.S. service today. In the jungle and trenches, shotguns ruled. The Winchester 1897 trench gun could slam fire as fast as you pumped it, earning a terrifying reputation. Its sleek successor, the hammerless Model 12, was rugged and prized for close-range jungle warfare. The Ithaca 37 was a favorite for its bottom ejection, keeping dirt out of the action. And the Humpback Stevens 520 served reliably on guard duty and the front lines. To kill tanks, infantry needed the M1A1 Bazooka. This revolutionary tube launched a shaped charge that burned through armor, though the backblast was dangerous. The M18 recoilless rifle was essentially a handheld cannon. Venting gas backward to stop recoil, it let soldiers shoulder-fire artillery shells at bunkers. Crew-served guns included the M1 57mm, a potent anti-armor weapon built on a British design. The smaller M3 37mm was obsolete against tanks, earning the nickname Pop Gun, but it busted Japanese bunkers effectively. The M7 rifle grenade launcher turned a standard Garand into light artillery, launching explosives further than a man could throw. For demolition, soldiers used the Mk2 pineapple grenade. Its cast iron grooves created deadly fragmentation to clear rooms and foxholes. The M15 white phosphorus, or Willy Pete, created dense smoke and unquenchable fire to flush out enemies. M1 anti-tank mines were buried in roads to disable vehicle tracks. On D-Day, Bangalore torpedoes connected explosive tubes were pushed under wire to blast a path for infantry. The TNT satchel charge was the ultimate bunker buster, thrown into fortifications to destroy them from inside. When ammo ran dry, they used knives. The M3 combat knife was a dedicated dagger designed purely for fighting. The USMC Mark II K-Bar became the most famous knife in history, tough enough for crates, sharp enough for combat. Bayonets like the 10-inch M1 and the long M1 917 Enfield turned rifles into spears for the final assault. And the M1918 trench knife featured brutal brass knuckles for silent elimination. Finally, we have mortar and flamethrowers. The 60mm M2 was pocket artillery for the company, dropping shells behind ridges. The bigger 81mm M1 brought heavier explosive power to break up attacks. But the M2 flamethrower was the most feared weapon in the Pacific. Strapped to a back, it spewed liquid fire into caves, forcing surrender or a horrific end. From the smallest pistol to the heaviest machine gun, this arsenal secured victory. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to Battlefield Insights.